Have you ever wondered about the fate of the 10 lost tribes of Israel? The Assyrian invasion in 722 BCE led to their exile and scattering, earning them the title of the lost tribes. Their whereabouts became unknown, leaving behind a veil of mystery and curiosity. Throughout history, countless theories have emerged, suggesting migrations to distant lands, assimilation into other cultures, and even encounters with communities claiming Israelite ancestry. But what is the truth behind these theories? Join us as we delve into the pages of biblical history, exploring the prophecies of restoration given by prophets such as Jeremiah and Ezekiel. These prophecies foretold a future reunion of the scattered Israelites and their return to the Promised Land. But what evidence do we have? We'll delve into the intriguing search for the lost tribes, examining the various theories and legends that have captivated explorers, historians, and biblical scholars for centuries. From the Beta Israel community in Ethiopia to the Pashtun people of Afghanistan and Pakistan, we'll explore the claims and traditions of groups who believe they are descendants of the lost tribes. Could these communities hold the key to unraveling the mystery? As we embark on this journey, we invite you to ponder some thought-provoking questions. Could you be a descendant of the lost tribes? So, if you're ready to embark on an adventure that combines history, archaeology, and biblical prophecy, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us as we uncover the secrets of the lost tribes of Israel. Together, let's explore the past and unlock the secrets that shape our world today. The story of the 12 tribes of Israel is rooted in the life of Jacob, a significant figure in biblical history. Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, was the son of Isaac and grandson of Abraham. He played a crucial role in the formation of the tribes that would become the foundation of the nation of Israel, Genesis 35 verses 22 to 26. Jacob had 12 sons, each of whom would become the progenitor of one of the 12 tribes. These tribes were named after Jacob's sons, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Each tribe had its own distinct characteristics and played a crucial role in the unfolding history of God's chosen people. Their journey, struggles, blessings, and prophecies would shape the destiny of Israel and have far-reaching implications in both biblical and historical contexts, Genesis 49 verses 1 to 28. The naming of the tribes was significant as it reflected the circumstances surrounding their births and the blessings or prophecies pronounced by Jacob upon each of his sons. For example, Reuben, the firstborn, was named so because his mother Leah said, "The Lord has seen my misery, surely my husband will love me now." Simeon means, one who hears, Levi means, attached, Judah means, praise, and so on, Genesis 29 verses 31 to 35. The 12 tribes became the foundation of the Israelite nation and formed a crucial part of their identity. Each tribe had its own territory in the Promised Land and was responsible for upholding their tribal traditions, customs, and responsibilities, Joshua 13 to 21. The tribes of Levi and Joseph, however, had unique roles within the nation. The tribe of Levi was set apart for priestly duties and did not receive a specific territory like the other tribes. Instead, they were allocated cities throughout the land where they would serve as priests and caretakers of the tabernacle and later the temple, Numbers 18 verses 20 to 24, Joshua 21 verses 1 to 3. Joseph, on the other hand, was divided into two tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh, named after Joseph's sons. This division occurred because Jacob adopted Joseph's sons as his own, granting them the status of tribes within Israel. The tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh received their own territories among the other tribes, Genesis 48 verse 5, Genesis 48 verses 13 to 20. The United Kingdom of Israel, established under the reign of King Saul and later ruled by King David and his son King Solomon, reached its peak of power and prosperity. However, after the death of King Solomon, the kingdom faced a significant turning point in its history, 1 Kings 11 verses 29 to 36. The division of the kingdom occurred due to a combination of political, religious, and tribal tensions. Rehoboam, King Solomon's son, ascended to the throne, and the people approached him with grievances and requests for a lighter burden. Rehoboam's response, seeking to uphold his authority, led to a rift between the tribes, 1 Kings 12 verses 1 to 20. 10 of the tribes, consisting of Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh, formed the northern kingdom of Israel. They rebelled against Rehoboam's leadership and established their own capital in Samaria, 1 Kings 12 verses 21 to 24. The remaining tribes, Judah and Benjamin, comprised the southern kingdom of Judah, with Jerusalem as its capital. Rehoboam, as the rightful heir of David's dynasty, ruled over this southern kingdom, 1 Kings 12 verses 20 to 24. The division of the kingdom had significant consequences for the people of Israel. It marked the beginning of separate political entities, each with its own kings, religious practices, and cultural identities. The division also led to a rivalry and occasional conflict between the northern and southern kingdoms, 2 Kings 14 verse 28. In the northern kingdom of Israel, the succession of kings was marked by instability, idolatry, and a departure from the worship of the true God. Various kings, such as Jeroboam, Ahab, and Jehu, led the northern kingdom into spiritual and moral decline, ultimately leading to its downfall, 1 Kings 16 verses 29 to 33, 2 Kings 17 verses 7 to 18. The southern kingdom of Judah, on the other hand, experienced periods of faithfulness to God under the reign of certain kings, such as Hezekiah and Josiah. However, it also faced its share of idolatry and rebellion against God, leading to judgment and exile, 2 Kings 18 to 20, 2 Kings 22 to 23. The southern kingdom of Judah, though it survived longer than the northern kingdom, also faced the consequences of its disobedience. In 586 BCE, the Babylonians, under King Nebuchadnezzar, captured Jerusalem, destroyed the temple, and sent many of the people of Judah into exile in Babylon, 2 Kings 25, Jeremiah 52. The Assyrian Empire, a dominant power at the time, conquered the northern kingdom of Israel in 722 BCE. The Assyrians forcibly exiled the 10 tribes and scattered them throughout their vast empire, effectively erasing their distinct identity and assimilating them into other cultures, 2 Kings 17 verses 5 to 6. The Assyrians employed brutal tactics in their conquest, including forced deportations and the scattering of the Israelite population throughout their vast empire. This exile was a deliberate strategy to weaken the conquered people and prevent them from organizing resistance, 2 Kings 17 verse 23. The Israelites who were exiled by the Assyrians eventually became known as the Lost Tribes of Israel because their fate and whereabouts became unknown. The Assyrians intentionally assimilated the Israelites into their empire, blending them with other conquered peoples and erasing their distinct identity, 2 Kings 17 verse 24. The lost tribes consisted of Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh. These tribes, once part of the United Kingdom of Israel, were now scattered across different regions under Assyrian control, 2 Kings 17 verse 6. The scattering of the 10 tribes resulted in their gradual disappearance from historical records and their separation from the southern kingdom of Judah. While some individuals from these tribes likely assimilated into the surrounding cultures and lost their distinct Israelite identity, others managed to maintain their heritage and traditions. Over the centuries, various theories and speculations have emerged regarding the fate of the lost tribes. Some theories suggest that they migrated to distant lands, while others propose that they were absorbed by neighboring peoples. However, concrete evidence or historical documentation confirming these theories is scarce. It is worth noting that despite being referred to as the lost tribes, the concept of their complete disappearance is questioned by scholars. While the tribes may have lost their distinct identity and merged with other populations, their descendants could potentially exist today, unaware of their Israelite heritage. The topic of the lost tribes of Israel continues to captivate the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and individuals interested in biblical history. Efforts to trace the lineage and uncover the fate of the lost tribes persist, but definitive answers remain elusive. One prevalent theory suggests that the lost tribes migrated to distant lands, far beyond the Assyrian Empire. This theory, often referred to as the Israelite migrations theory, proposes that the tribes traveled to various regions, such as Europe, Asia, Africa, and even the Americas. Some proponents of this theory point to historical accounts, ancient inscriptions, and cultural similarities between certain groups and biblical Israelite practices. For example, the British Israelism movement claimed that the British and other European peoples were descendants of the lost tribes. Another theory suggests that the lost tribes were absorbed and assimilated into neighboring cultures and populations during their exile. This theory argues that the tribes lost their distinct Israelite identity and merged with other peoples, making it difficult to trace their lineage. Throughout history, there have been claims and legends of encountering communities or groups that claim Israelite ancestry. These claims often arise from cultural practices, religious beliefs, or oral traditions that bear similarities to biblical Israelite customs. For instance, the Beta Israel community in Ethiopia, also known as the Ethiopian Jews, has long claimed to be descendants of the lost tribe of Dan. Their religious practices and certain customs have resemblances to ancient Israelite practices. Similarly, the Pashtun people of Afghanistan and Pakistan have a tradition that they are the descendants of the lost tribe of Ephraim. This belief has led to the emergence of the Pathan theory, which connects the Pashtun customs, language, and history to biblical Israel. It is important to note that while these theories and claims exist, there is limited concrete evidence to support them. The search for the lost tribes is often shrouded in speculation, and the available historical and archaeological data do not provide definitive answers. Scholars and researchers continue to explore the topic, utilizing various disciplines such as archaeology, linguistics, genetics, and historical records in their quest for understanding. Advances in DNA analysis have offered some insights into the genetic ancestry of different populations, but definitive connections to the lost tribes remain elusive. It is crucial to approach the search for the lost tribes with caution, distinguishing between historical evidence and speculative theories. The fascination with the topic reflects a deep interest in biblical history and the enduring legacy of the 12 tribes of Israel. The prophecies of restoration regarding the scattered tribes of Israel form a significant theme in the writings of the Old Testament prophets. Despite the exile and dispersion of the 10 tribes by the Assyrians, prophets such as Jeremiah and Ezekiel conveyed messages of hope and restoration for the people of Israel. Jeremiah, often referred to as the weeping prophet, lived during a tumultuous period when the southern kingdom of Judah was facing the threat of Babylonian invasion. In the midst of impending judgment and exile, Jeremiah prophesied about a future restoration for both the northern and southern kingdoms of Israel. The prophet Jeremiah spoke of a new covenant that God would establish with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. This covenant would be different from the old covenant made at Mount Sinai, written on stone tablets. Instead, it would be written on the hearts of the people, indicating a deep, personal relationship with God. Jeremiah 31 verses 31 to 34. Within this prophecy, Jeremiah expressed God's promise to gather the scattered Israelites from all the nations where they had been driven. They would return to their own land, and God would be their God, and they would be his people. Jeremiah 31 verses 8 to 10. Ezekiel, another prominent prophet of the exile, also carried messages of restoration for the people of Israel. He lived among the exiles in Babylon and received visions and revelations from God concerning the future of Israel, Ezekiel 37 verses 15 to 23. One of the most well-known prophecies in the book of Ezekiel is the vision of the Valley of Dry Bones. In this vision, Ezekiel saw a valley filled with dry, lifeless bones, representing the hopeless and scattered state of the Israelites in exile. However, God instructed Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, and as he did, the bones came together, sinews and flesh covered them, and breath entered them, symbolizing the restoration of Israel, Ezekiel 37 verses 1 to 14. The vision of the Valley of Dry Bones conveyed the message that God would restore the Israelites, bringing them back to life and reuniting them as a nation. It represented the regathering of the scattered tribes and the revitalization of their spiritual and national identity, Ezekiel 37 verses 21 to 22. The prophecies of restoration given by Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and other prophets provided hope and reassurance to the Israelites during their time of exile. These prophecies pointed to a future where the people of Israel would be gathered from the nations, reunited as a nation, and experience a renewed relationship with God. As we conclude our exploration of the 12 tribes of Israel and the mystery of the lost tribes, we are left with both historical intrigue and spiritual reflection. While the specific fate of the lost tribes remains unknown, the story continues to inspire hope and curiosity. Join us next time as we uncover more hidden gems from the annals of history and the Bible.